We are live, as I Mr. Just said.
Revenue GS.
Show 1/3 of the Cyber Nerds.
And we're back with more Star Wars Visions, Episode 7, The Elder.
Master, I have been meaning to ask you, do you have any idea how many planets you visited so far?
Let me think. I really couldn't say off the top of my head.
Well, you must hold the Jedi record for most planets visited, based on all the stories I've heard anyway.
I sensed a darkness, something ancient and sinister.
Could it possibly be Sith? If so, you know I'm ready to fight.
No, it cannot be so. It's been hundreds of years since they were destroyed. But whatever it is, we need to investigate.
If it's that dark, fighting would be the only way to do that.
There's much eagerness from you, Dan. But no matter how confident, a Jedi does not seek out aggression. A Jedi must find balance and stillness.
I know. So, then, what should we do?
The only inhabited planet around here is Habo, right?
Have you been there?
Yeah, quite a few times, actually.
That's my master. Always the only Jedi who knows it all when it comes to the Outer Rim. I'm so lucky to be your Padawan.
Thank you.
I was being sarcastic.
I'll pretend I didn't hear. I'm impressed. You've already broken through the Habo kids' shells.
So did you find anything out?
A couple of days ago, an elder from an unknown tribe visited. When he arrived on his ship, he was alone.
An elderly man. And from an unknown tribe?
There are not that many visitors to this planet in the first place. So for the Habo, there are far more unknown tribes than not.
Interesting. Then where did this old man go?
Apparently, he went into the mountains by himself.
Do you think this man is the same presence you felt earlier?
I wonder. I haven't felt the disturbance at all since we arrived on this planet.
Or were we misdirected?
No, I think the opposite.
What does that mean?
If it's this elder, he could be hiding his presence, which means that he's close.
You think so?
But it also means he's noticed us.
So then he's felt our presence as well.
Not only that, but there's a chance I may be overthinking this.
Again, so wise. I wouldn't think an old man could manage a path like this. Well, I should be one to talk.
I've located the old man's starship. It isn't a model I recognize, but it resembles the old Sith ships I've seen in Hollows.
I hope this
Are
shit
you
gets wrapped.
serious? The Sith?
I don't even want him getting killed. I want him getting kidnapped and taken and coming back as a bad guy later.
You already know the story.
What is it?
There's a Vamga carcass.
Be safe, Dan.
This shit needs to get chopped up real quick, bro.
I guess you are not him after all. I sense someone strong in the force, but it's not you. Must be the other. No matter. Hunting the Vamgar, it was not a challenge. But if I kill you, your master will surely show himself.
I won't be as easily defeated as a Vamga.
I certainly hope not. You're only delaying the inevitable with such futile defense. How incredibly boring you are.
Woo!
In half.
Let's go.
I'm just sitting there.
It's been a while since I've come across an opponent so strong in the Force.
Whoa! Mad thing.
That technique.
That's a technique.
Oh!
Yo! Oh my days, bro. Hmm? What?
Go on and say goodbye to your friends. You know, they were very worried about you when you were recovering from your injury.
Thank you, Master.
That is replacement jutsu, bro.
Hmm?
There always might be some replacement jutsu, bro. It was okay. I did more like the teachings of the master in this one more than anything else. I like the way he was basically teaching his Padawan and the kind of like the respect the Padawan had for the master. But obviously, you always see it from the young ones that they always want to, I don't know, test their might.
It was on smoke.
Yeah, I guess because of like they've done this training, they just want to see how useful they are, or whatever. But it reminded me more of like an Obi-Wan Anakin kind of relationship, just the battle they were having. The man was like, that was sarcasm. He's like, yeah, but enough to hear that kind of thing. So, but the relationship for me was what was like really cool about this episode.
That's interesting because that's why I think it was dead, man. I think that like this relationship between this Padawan and this master is just a basic relationship we see all the time. Headstrong Padawan, wise master. Like, let's do something better than that. And even when it came to dealing with the consequences of being headstrong, there was no consequences for man. Man took a straight slash, I'm gonna say, to the chest. He should have been chopped in half, but he wasn't. Flesh wound. Man comes back a couple months later and he's learned it. We don't even know if he's learned his lesson, but just comes back a couple months later. Like, I think that was super dead about it. I think the strength of the episode was towards the ends in terms of like the knowledge that the elder was giving us, just talking about his views on the Sith, and then even the way he passed away and died and crumbled. I really like that because it's like it doesn't let it like we haven't dug deep into Force users as strong as Sith masters who are not part of the Sith in Disney Star Wars canon. Do you get what I'm saying? So him crumbling to me says something like, I don't know what kind of dark or force magic or whatever he's using that he might be tied to, like, oh, once my heart dies, I crumble. Like, is that part of a, like, you was joking about replacement jitsu, but in my mind, I'm like, that could be part of a reincarnation type thing where he's turned to dust and he can be reformed to something else. And like, we ain't really got into that, those types of Darth Plagueis type stuff, cloning force powers and stuff like that. So I those were the things I liked about the episode. The rest of it,
because I was gonna say maybe like what you was touching on, was it something that he was using as the force that was holding them together, until like something.
And it
appears to
potential,
him
and see,
that-
and that's one of the things that's sick, because obviously when the master's like, yo, when he says his last spiel, like the last little dialogue, I thought was tough when he's just talking about how the universe works, people getting older, people getting stronger, people getting weaker. I thought that was tough, but that's where my mind went to when he crumbled. Like, fam, was he using the most of his force to stay alive until he found a worthy opponent to take man out? Much like Maul going through the desert, waiting for Obi-Wan to come and finish there. You know what I'm saying? But that, all of those things there is also why I think this episode is super weak. Because it's like, we didn't really do anything original here, fam.
And that's where I was kind of disappointed as well. Because obviously, like, straight from the get-go, like, the Master's poise, I was like, yo, yep, this is Obi-Wan and Anakin. Straight, like, even before they start engaging. As soon as he came in the ship with his hands inside the robe, I was like, yep, that's cool. But then I was like, bro, are they going to take this to a point where it's like, he's going to encounter the older, get sliced up, much like Obi-Wan sliced up Anakin, but then somehow, I don't know, flip the thing, and he still murks the younglings, which are these kids. That's where my mind was going. But then, like, you mentioned, the elder came, he's talking about the past, the Sith past, how the man just murked each other because they couldn't hold, doing all these things. I'm like, now we're there. And then there's nothing that comes out of it. And I'm just like super disappointed. I don't know if it's just me, because as I'm watching, I'm plugging into my Star Wars knowledge and I'm trying to put all these things together that I've read, watched, listened, and then nothing comes out of it. And even when it gets chopped up, you're alive? Like, are you getting chopped up like more words in half, but still survive? Like, and this is where it fails, because you've got all these things that you want to do, that you've done with the episode, but nothing came out of it. Like, and I really love the Jedi Master's looks, because it reminds me of
Rengoku. Are you talking about from Demon Slayer?
No. It's this samurai with a red hair, just like his, and it's got a scar across his eye, innit? Jump in the comment section below and let me know the name. I've forgotten. I recently watched the whole movies on Netflix as well. So I really like that. But then, yeah, man, we could have done a lot more with this episode. A lot more, man. And it's a tough one still. It's a tough
I
one.
was about to say, has there ever been a relationship where the Master and the Jedi have never got along?
Well, they don't like each other.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, these guys, like, we've always seen buddy Master and Padawan, but we've never really seen people paired up and they've not really got along, or I don't believe the way you're teaching me, or vice versa.
That would be super legit, especially to see on the Jedi side. Especially if you had a Master that was like, oh, I know that I can train this kid, and this kid was 100% against it. I think that would be super legit, bro. But like, I just also don't feel like something like that could work in the Jedi Council that we had. But like, if it was a situation like after Order 66, where there's a Jedi Master and a Padawan,
you ain't got much choice because there isn't options.
Yeah, the Padawan's struggling with dealing with all of his friends and family getting X'd. And then the Master's like, no, I know what's best for you. And he's like, no, we need to go and get revenge. That type of, like I'm talking about like a kid who's not dark, but fringing on dark side. Like the kid, it's Bakuga from Demon Slayer, like something like that knows he's good, but will go to the limit. Do you know what I'm saying? Something like that would be a sick type of relationship to like get into, bro.
I think that the closest one that I know is Obi-Wan and remind me, his Masters Qui-Gon. They clashed a lot, like a lot. Do you know what I mean? But other than that, yeah, I've never come across that.
I wouldn't even mind
that sort of thing.
I wouldn't even mind seeing that on the Sith side as well, where it's like, obviously, as a Sith apprentice, you're supposed to try and kill your master. But I would like to see a Sith apprentice try and kill his master every day.
That would be sick.
Like every day.
Smoke
every day. Because it's like, you had the Kylo Ren thing where it was like, oh, man's get like Snoke's kind of like poking at man, like, oh, you're not nice enough, and he's coming from the nicest bloodline. So I would like someone to come from like a Ron Weasley type of bloodline and be trying to prove that, yo, that Voldemort blood you got ain't nothing, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? That, I would love to see something like that, you get me? So that's quite tough.
Well, ladies and gents, do jump in the comment section below as usual, as always, and let us know your thoughts. Any other ideas you thought they could have done better with this episode? And that's pretty much it. I'm Raven your GS.
Sam, Mr. Blitzek.
Joe for the Cyber Nerds.
See you next time. Peace.
What happened? Nothing happened. Nothing except for the war. Too many people died in this land. All that pain forced me to grow up.
What does that mean?
That even innocent, foolish children will grow up in the face of pain.